Hey, everybody. It's Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. Yes, I'm going to top this evening off with commentary pertaining to the U.S. versus Robert Sylvester Kelly. The trial is nearing an end, and Robert's fate lies in the balance. What will 12 members of a jury decide pertaining to Robert Kelly? And no matter the circumstances of the verdict, if it comes tomorrow, Thursday, Friday rather, if she decides to hold court on Friday, Judge Donnelly, he is also facing charges in Chicago and the state of Minnesota, excuse me. So this should be an interesting ending of what took place in New York the past several weeks. And I'm going to bring you said commentary. Didn't even seem like it's been that many weeks, but it has. Thank you all for joining me. Hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless all of you. Queen has so much to tell you, honey. So much to tell you. I'm going to skim over this Vulture article because I think it's a bit winded because it's just recapping everything that's happened in the past couple of weeks. But hey, Pretty K. Hello, Denise. Hello, May Brown. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Vulture is the source. R. Kelly's sex crimes trial comes to a messy close. Oh, don't tell me this is New York. They don't want me to read this. I don't like I'm going to be able to read this article. They want you to pay for everything. They don't want to read anything. Well, that's okay. I'll do another one. NBC 15, Madison. R. Kelly's rules protected him, prosecutors in sex trial. Note that when I'm done with the commentary and the audio from the video, I will drop the link and feel free to come up and give your commentary. Please try to do your best to not to use any foul language, as not to have the video flagged. But I want to hear your honest opinion pertaining to what you think is going to happen to Robert Kelly, how you think the trial went. Did the U.S. put on a good trial, not a good trial, the evidence? Do you believe in the information that was brought forward? Do you believe the witnesses? Do you believe the people who testified for the U.S. and the few that have come forward on the defense? And will Miss Savage be the topper for the trial for the defense of Robert Sylvester Kelly? R. Kelly got away with sexual abuse of underage victims for more than 2 decades by ruling his inner circle enablers with an iron fist, a prosecutor told jurors on Wednesday at the R&B singer's sex trafficking trial. The defendant set rules, lots of them, and he demanded complete obedience. Assistant U.S. Attorney Elizabeth Geddes said during closing arguments in federal court in Brooklyn. That meant for many years what happened in the defendant's world stayed in the defendant's world, Geddes added, but no longer. Among the secrets was Kelly's 1994 marriage to the up-and-coming singer Aaliyah when she was 15, the prosecutor said. Only a few days later, the defendant didn't skip a beat by allegedly sexually assaulting a 17-year-old in his dressing room after a concert in Miami, she said. The government had accused Kelly in opening statements last month of organizing a network of assistants, bodyguards, and others at his disposal to target, groom, and exploit girls, boys, and young women for his own sexual gratification. 6 weeks of testimony from more than 45 witnesses and other evidence proved he did just that, Geddes said. The start of the government summation to continue on Thursday came after Kelly told U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly that he won't take the witness stand, allowing him to avoid the risk of a potentially brutal cross-examination. Yes, I just said that. R. Kelly will not be testifying in his own defense. You don't want to testify, correct? Donnelly asked Kelly. He responded, yes, ma'am. The defense completed a short case on Wednesday that relied on a handful of former Kelly employees and other associates who agreed to take the stand to try to discredit allegations. Okay, so I didn't hear anything about Miss Savage. So is she still supporting him or not? Very interesting. Most of the defense witnesses said they never saw Kelly abuse anyone. One even said Kelly was chivalrous to his girlfriends. Another admitted he owed Kelly for his break in music business and wanted to see him beat the charges. By contrast, prosecutors have called dozens of witnesses since the trial began in federal court in Brooklyn on August 18. They included several female and 2 male accusers who testified that once they were in Kelly's web, he groomed them for unwanted sex and psychological torment, mostly when they were teenagers. Their accounts were supported, at least in part, by other former Kelly employees whose own testimony suggested they were essentially paid off to look the other way or enable the recording artists. Jurors have heard evidence about a fraud marriage scheme hatched to protect Kelly after he feared he had impregnated Aaliyah. A marriage license that was put into evidence falsely listed her at age as 18. He was 27 at the time. Aaliyah, whose full name was Aaliyah Dana Houghton, worked with Kelly, who wrote and produced her 1994 debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. She died in a plane crash in 2001 at the age of 22. The 54-year-old Kelly, perhaps best known for the 1996 smash hit, I Believe I Can Fly, has pleaded not guilty to racketeering charges. He's also charged with multiple violations of the Mann Act, which makes it illegal to transport anyone across state lines for any immoral purpose. The defendant has vehemently denied the allegations, claiming that the accusers were groupies who wanted to take advantage of his fame and fortune until the hashtag Me Too movement turned them against him. Meanwhile, a judge at a hearing Wednesday in Chicago said that a criminal case there against Kelly will remain on hold until the New York trial is over. Associated Press writer Michael Tarm in Chicago contributed to this report. The story has been corrected to reflect that the judge's last name is Donnelly, not Connolly. NBC15.com, is the source for this information. Robert Kelly did not testify, as not to incriminate himself and take harsh treatment from the opposing team. I'm going to play you commentary. No coffee, honey. Just had a little dinner and that was it. Sorry about that. No. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I got a few of you in here to listen to the said information. Yes, they didn't put on many people. So we will discuss that after I play this this video. Sorry, my Bluetooth cut off. I guess it said, you're taking too long, lady. Closing arguments and R. Kelly speaks for the first time in trial. BNC, this is the Black News channel. If you want to hear news pertaining to African-American people, entertainers, politics, please tune in to BNC. They have a channel on YouTube. Thank you so very much. Hold on. 1 second. Well, it was on. Sorry.
Bluetooth connected. Department of Police Accountability and former prosecutor joins me for a look ahead. Tanetta, good to have you back. Let's just dive right in and start with the brief moment when R. Kelly spoke and addressed the court. He said, "No, ma'am," when asked if he was certain he didn't want to testify. Now, as lawyers, we understand the risks associated with a defendant taking the stand, but if anybody watched R. Kelly's interview with Gayle King, they'd understand why his decision not to testify was a good move. But besides his tendency to lose his cool, why would it be disastrous for him to take the stand?
Well, it would be disastrous because the prosecution is going to nitpick every answer that he was to give. If he were to relate back to a time and place, they would go through that with strict scrutiny and pin him to the point where his words get fumbled up, where they catch him in a lie, and where they know that he's not telling the truth to the jury. So it was in his best interest not to testify. As we saw on Gayle King, yes, he can be unhinged, but doing that in front of the jury, along with knowing that you're committing basically perjury by lying about all of the incidents of the violent sexual acts you've committed on these young minor women, would be, again, disastrous. It would only exacerbate and prove the prosecution's case even more.
Well, speaking of the prosecution, of course, let's go there since they have the burden of proving R. Kelly guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you think that they've actually met that burden?
I do. They have meticulously and detailed each and every instance, not only through all victims, past and present, that we have known, including bringing up the late Aaliyah, the singer, but they have laid out actually a criminal racketeering enterprise that included using his celebrity, using his fame, and using his wealth to further these sexual, violent, and predatory instances on these young minor women. So in fact, they have, even though it seemed like maybe at times like, well, how many more witnesses or how many more victims are we going to get? That actually aided the prosecution in laying down and proved beyond a reasonable doubt that every element of the crimes that R. Kelly was charged with were proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
Well, in cases like these, people wouldn't expect a charge for racketeering, right? But the charge is built around 14 underlying crimes that prosecutors say Kelly committed as part of a criminal scheme that he's led for decades. The prosecution is taking their time as well in closing arguments. I mean, they spent 3 hours today, and they're going to continue tomorrow, going over the elements for 7 of those 14 underlying acts, and they haven't even gotten to the 8 counts under the Mann Act, which bars sex trafficking across state lines. Is this sort of laborious presentation necessary?
Yes, in order to get the full picture, that full scheme. And it's a really elaborate scheme, even though it may seem as though, it just was so happening. These people were his due men or his due women that actually did all of these things for him. What it showed was that he actually took the time to make sure that he had, quote unquote, maybe the legal ramification, maybe the legal steps in place in case these women were to come forward and accuse him, because he knew what he was doing was wrong and against the law and basically tumultuous to these young women. This racketeering charge and what it seems like in sexual exploitation, that he has all of these people in place to move these women, to make sure that there's a backpack with iPads so that his fetish for videotaping and for watching what he does to these women can be on tape, as well as these men and women can be on tape. And it has to be laid out so that they can see that it was just more than maybe how R. Kelly's team is presenting it, as these fans who only want money now and are only coming out now to get these sexual exploits, or to, make a mockery or whatever of R. Kelly. No, it's to show that this was part of his whole scheme and plan to fulfill his own devious sexual fetishes through the use of young women, and that he would do anything, including trafficking these women across state lines in order to satisfy some evil fetish that he has, and that the people that he employed were used to satisfy that evil fetish as well. So this is more than just him engaging with his fans over the years. This is something that where he sought out these young, vulnerable victims and took advantage of that and used his money and resources to further this racketeering and exploiting these young women and men.
Elizabeth Geddes, she's the prosecutor giving the closing, also used a large blackboard showing Kelly in the center, surrounded by a network of associates that she says served as enablers for his criminal conduct. Explain why providing visuals for the jury is important in general, but especially during closing arguments, when that'll be the last time both sides will get to address the jury.
And always when we're doing trials, right, remember, as prosecutors, we always get the last word, the prosecutors. But in this day and age, we are such visual individuals. And to see that picture and to see how it plays out, and to see R. Kelly in the center with almost like a mafia type board with the mob and all of these individuals helping and aiding him, it is real telling, and it gives the jury a picture of how intricate and how much of a syndicate it was, and how he was controlling each and everything that happened when it came down to exploiting, trafficking, and sexually abusing these young men and women. So what you see is, when you get this picture and when you see this blackboard, you see the lengths that R. Kelly went to just so that he could fulfill his devious sexual fantasies at the stake of these young women and men's lives and livelihoods. So it's a very telling. The jury goes back into the jury room. They're thinking about that. All they're left is the visual. They may have a packet of jury instructions, They'll have boxes of evidence that has been presented from both sides. But what is going to stick out, though, is probably this blackboard with R. Kelly in the middle and all of these individuals helping him with these 11 or so victims of his sexual deviant crimes.
Well, Tanetta, before I let you go, I want to get your prediction on how long this jury will take to reach a verdict. The evidence seems so overwhelming, but the charges are complicated, and you know that a quick verdict is usually a bad sign for the defense. So what do you think?
I think it could take anywhere. I'm not going to guess, juries are so, you can never, you always want to say, no matter how many jury trials you do, like you can kind of gauge the jury. But I think with this case, the jury wants to get it right? And the prosecution has laid down the evidence for them to say, like, look, take your time. And they're going to tell the jury, the prosecutor is going to tell the jury that, take your time, go through each of the evidence that we have presented. Look at each of the elements, because it's up to the jurors that each element is fulfilled in order to find a guilty verdict on that. And they're going to say, look how this, and that's what the prosecution is doing right now. She's going through each of the crimes, and they may seem elaborate, but what the prosecution is doing right now is really breaking it down to a science so that anyone can get it, because that's who our jurors are. They come from our community. They are us, right? And so what she wants to show them and explain to them is like, look, this is what we have. This is the evidence that we have presented. And you're going to plug each piece of evidence, and each piece of evidence shows that R. Kelly is guilty in each and every one of these counts. And that's what they're going to do. And it's going to take some time. There's been so much evidence. There's been many witnesses. So there's going to be so much that they can do.
Attorney Tanetta Thompson, thank you so very much for lending your expertise. It's hard to tell exactly how long
Okay, thank you so much for listening to that commentary. That is BNC. Thank them for the information. They are the source. Feel free to check out their content on YouTube. I have been thoroughly enjoying their commentary pertaining to Robert Kelly and other breaking news pertaining to African-American people. I'm going to go ahead and get started, get the live started with my commentary. Feel free to hit the link and I will beam you up once I'm done bringing the said information pertaining to Robert Kelly. Just a second. Oh, mercy. Okay. All righty. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining. Well, for those of you who are following the trial, it is nearing an end. Basically, they're saying that the defense is wrapped up. So here are my questions so far pertaining to the information that has been brought to us in this federal trial. Did the U.S. put on a good case against Robert Sylvester Kelly? What evidence made the case, made it believable? Were the witnesses believable that testified against Robert Kelly? Is he innocent or is he guilty? Where were his witnesses? Why were there not more people to testify on behalf of Robert Kelly? Jocelyn Savage, where are you? Are you still supporting Robert Kelly? Are you still in his corner? You still on the main line? I have not heard that anybody else will be testifying pertaining to a defense for him. So is she going to testify or no? Are they done? Has the defense rested? What will 12 members say in the verdict against Robert Kelly? If he is found guilty, how much time will they give him? If he is found innocent, he still has charges in 2 other jurisdictions, and that is Chicago and Minnesota. Is he remorseful now? Does Robert Kelly feel anything, feel any remorse for his actions, his behavior, the allegations that have been brought before the court and the world, the secrets that possibly he thought were never going to be revealed? to the general public, people he knows? How does he feel about all of the said information that transpired in court? All the allegations, the rumors, the dirty, dirty deeds of things he allegedly did with these women and men and boys and girls behind closed doors, bodily fluids that we can't even imagine if we're not into that type of kinky sex. I don't even know if you would call that kinky sex. Fecal matter and urine. I don't even know how that would even be considered kinky sex, but everything's up for interpretation. My goodness. Robert Kelly only showed emotion from what some people said who were able to see on those big TV monitors in the overflow room, that he only showed emotion when Faith testified. Why is that? Do you still feel something for Faith? Is she one that you thought possibly would have never turned on you, Robert? Because they said you showed emotion when she testified, shaking your head no to the things that she was saying. And one of those said things is you couldn't get it up or perform properly because she turned you down and told you she was not interested in having sex with you on that one occasion. And perhaps your private parts could not function because somebody told Robert Kelly, hell no, I don't want to have sex with you today. Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you all so much. Lord, these things beeping off. Hold on. Okay. Why didn't you testify? You're confident. You're cocky. You have pled innocent to these charges. You didn't do it. None of it. Everything's a lie. The women are lying. The girls are lying. The boys are lying. The men are lying. Even the people who work for you told similar things as far as your demeanor. You're not such a nice guy behind closed doors. So what are we to believe? That the employees are lying as well? About you having a nasty disposition? People who allegedly had not had sex with you? They lying? Why didn't you testify, Robert Kelly? Is it because you knew you would fly off the handle and your attorneys assumed that you would from your interview with Gayle King 2 years ago? You knew better. You knew that you would get your foot caught in a trap and it would be an awful, awful mess. What is to become of Robert Kelly? Will 12 members of a jury find him innocent or guilty? And if he is found guilty, how much time is he facing? Because he has 2 other jurisdictions that are waiting for him. If he is found innocent, he still will be incarcerated with those 2 said jurisdictions. And as I read you commentary, Chicago says we are waiting for you, Robert, no matter what the verdict is. And we will hold court when Brooklyn is done with you. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. If you'd like to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie, 129 Cash App. Hit the link if you want to bring your opinions pertaining to the trial, the federal trial against Robert Kelly. It's wrapping up. What do you believe? Are these ladies, men, children, everyone lying? Is it for the money? What money? Allegedly, there is no money, so that can't be said anymore. Who is over his estates if someone decides they want to sue again? That is said information. Thanks for joining me. Hello, Kim. How are you, sweetheart? Slow motion 21 viewing, but that's all right. Come on in. Pull a seat up. Mercy. Mercy, mercy, mercy. What a fiasco. Well, as the old people would say, you live and you learn. Some people, you can't tell them anything. They know everything. They know everything. You can't tell them nothing. Nobody has anything to say about Robert Kelly? Are you all stunned that it's ended so quickly? I am kind of shocked myself. I thought the defense had more people to bring forward. I'm just kind of stunned. Where is everybody? Where is everyone? Where are the witnesses? Why hasn't more people testified? I find it very interesting. 27 viewing. You all wake up out there. Lordy me. Very sad. Very, very sad. Well, we will see what happens. Usually this judge doesn't hold court on Fridays, so we will see what happens. If tomorrow will be the wrap up, if the jury will convene and go into their separate quarters. I'll tell you something that's very disturbing to me, besides all the other mess I heard during this trial, is people fighting outside. I don't understand what are you all fighting over? The man is incarcerated. As I stated, whether he's found guilty or innocent, he still has 2 other jurisdictions with holds on him. So what the hell are you all fighting about? Somebody help me understand. I'm utterly confused. Why in the world would you be fighting over an incarcerated man arguing? And then that altercation that took place, about 2 weeks ago, those were allegedly fans. So it's like, well, what were you all arguing over if you are rallying for this man? What are you fighting about? Denise. Well, Denise, I had to bring forward because I was 2 days behind on the news. I did say I would follow R. Kelly's trial to the very end. I may not, talk about the next trial, but because I have so many other things that I talk about. It's a lot to keep up with when you're talking about other cases and bringing forward the updates. But hello, Mazel. How you doing, sweetheart? Mazel. It's interesting. Hit the link. Come on, Miss Broomer. You up now. Go hit the link and tell me what you're thinking, honey. Everybody else is scared to go to church. I ain't scared to go to church. I sure ain't. Not with this foolishness. I am not. If you'd like to give your opinion pertaining to Robert Kelly, are you a fan, non-fan? Please hit the link and be respectful in your commentary. We'll listen for a short period of time. Thank you. I take it you weren't a fan, Miss Broomer. She said, no, I was not. I wasn't no fan. I believe Miss Broomer's going to tell us she was not a fan of Robert Kelly. Please join me. The StreamYard is just a couple of rows above you. Feel free to hit the link and come in and enjoy yourself. Give me your commentary. What do you think about the case, the trial, the people who testified? Were they believable? The ladies, the men, and all the nasty secrets of iPad tapings, video recordings. They've got all that. They went in his apartment, storage units, pulled all that paraphernalia out. See, that's where he's a dummy, because he likes to keep souvenirs such as video recordings. So that just goes to show you he is a grand narcissist, because he wants to keep the video recordings. That's what got him in the mess back in 2002. And it took 6 years to bring that said case to trial, and he got away with it. But nobody can tell me he did not have sex with that 14-year-old. That he did. That was a 14-year-old in that video. And it doesn't matter if she denies it, still denies it, family denies it. You knew damn well that was your child in that video, and she knew it was her anyway. He's nasty. He's a nasty ass. And when you're talking about fecal matter, urine, having sex with little boys, grown men, Bubba, Pookie, Ray Ray. I'm dead, Satan. Damn, you just don't even discriminate, huh? Monkey see, monkey do. Come on, Miss Brown.
You know,
Come on in the church. Look, I done dim my light down for this one.
I've never been a real big fan of his.
Okay.
He just, I mean, I don't know why. His music was okay, but I think he was just pushed to a top. Well, he placed himself on a pedestal where nobody could reach him in his mind. He was above everybody. He could just do whatever. And, you know, you are going to have some people, I can't believe they're fighting, but some people that think that he is innocent, but then you kind of wonder what's wrong with their mind.
Yes. And that's what I tell people is that a lot of us listen to his music, but you have to know when to have the discerning spirit to say, I'm not thinking about the music. I'm thinking about the man who is behind the music, which is a nasty dog.
Right.
And he is a dog because you're talking about children. Now, whether he was assaulted, a lot of people have been assaulted sexually as children, but they don't grow up to be pedophiles, nor do they grow up to hurt people, become rapists, serial killers. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you started seeing you had a problem desiring children, you should have got you some help.
Yep.
As soon as he got you some help too for being attracted to men, but that's expected because he was touched by a man.
Right. Yeah. But I knew after the Aaliyah incident, and I hate to be the person to say this. Hope this is not being recorded. I saw the tape.
Well, I saw the tape. I admitted that I saw the tape. No, not for Aaliyah. I saw the tape of the 14-year-old girl and the other women. I saw that.
Exactly. I mean, my thing is, after someone saw that and they thought that was okay, but then if you think about it, what were in the many men that watched that, they were like, oh, we got to see this tape.
Yeah.
You know, so my thing is, what's wrong with y'all?
Okay, let's talk about the tape for a minute. The thing that's interesting, and not really interesting, but the thing that nobody still wants to own, and R. Kelly either, you were not like then.
Right.
Somebody in your entourage got a hold of that tape and leaked it and made money off of it.
Yep.
So somebody wasn't your friend then. But I've said it 1,000 times. You don't have no friends.
Nope. And people say that he was like illiterate or whatever. I don't think he was as illiterate as he was.
As they're claiming, yes.
Yeah.
He may not be able to do a little bit of trigonometry, but he knows how to maneuver. Shut up, point.
Right. I mean, like you were saying before, his mom, it was a school teacher.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I found that odd. That's why I find that odd. You mean to tell me you had a recluse of a son who was a upcoming prodigal, you know, a magician, a great person, or this? He was in the making, and he knew nothing.
Right. He wrote down them songs. I'm sure he didn't just.
Yeah, that's why I told somebody, how did he write them? How did he write them?
Right.
How did he write? How did he produce? You didn't tell me there was a middleman woman every time he decided to write a song.
Right.
Somebody wrote it down. He spoke it, then they wrote it. Or they typed it, rather.
Right. He's just, I mean, like I said, it's always been to me. And this right here, this whole situation just put the icing on the cake.
I mean, the stuff that they told, though. Like I said, the tape of the 14-year-old many moons ago was hell. All these allegations of the diseases and the smells and the this and that, and the various women ganged up together, walking together. That's something I never could understand. You see, because it's one thing to be mistreated by a man and you allow yourself to be mistreated by him, whether it's opposite sex, same sex relationships, whatsoever. But when you decided to become a harem, that's where I'm really confused. Like when you realize that you were not number one.
Right.
what in the hell made you stay? The abuse is one thing, but then you see it's another sookie over here, another one jumping out of a room over here, and you ain't looking around saying, where the hell you come from?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm his girlfriend. Say what? Oh, I thought I was his girlfriend. And then here come another one out the closet. No, I'm his girlfriend. What damn, what is this?
Right.
Musical chairs.
And literally. They didn't stop.
But that's what's so crazy. The abuse is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The nastiness, the filthiness, the sex, the here comes Screw Susie and Bob. You got us all grouped together, holding hands. This was Jim Jones at best.
Yes.
David Koresh, all of it wrapped in one. Charles Manson, all of it. It's the mentality. I can control you because I got it like that.
Yep.
And you can never make me understand why I would want to willingly lay up in the house with a man with other women, and we walk around here looking at each other, and I'm looking at her, kiss on him, and do that. Oh no, Queen don't want to do that.
And then stinking.
Because think about when you do it, and you the other woman.
Yeah.
And he got a woman or a wife, and you imagining what they're doing when he leaves you. Let's keep it real. This time in this situation, it ain't no imagine. You right there.
Yeah.
It's right in front of you.
Yep.
Lord have mercy.
And he should shake his head when that lady was talking. But then my thing is, you need to go to jail too. All of them need to go to jail. She knew it was happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't like her. I thought she was shameful.
Yeah.
To sit up there in that interview and act like she didn't see nothing, know nothing. Talking about my role stopped at the threshold of his bedroom. For all I know, you done laid with Kelly, because from what we've seen, he did not discriminate, because he ended up throwing his private parts on that hairdresser.
Right.
In her face, and I think when she said he spit on her, oh yeah.
Oh no.
Or Kelly would have went down.
Oh my God. And I'm a hairdresser and all the stuff I got around it. No. See, that's what
you talking about, them hot curling eyes?
Oh Lord, yeah, those cells. Just get them right across the face. It would be like,
look, we were talking about burning bed.
Thank you. We burning face.
I'm burning wee.
Oh, I just don't understand.
Sometimes the prosecution overcharge the defendant if they are too desperate to get a conviction, and the jury will acquit. Not saying that will happen, but nobody has said that it's a possibility.
Well, he'll still go to jail in Chicago.
That's why I said that even if he's found innocent, he'll have 2 other jurisdictions.
I just don't see. I mean, these people can't.
He'll be broke down. He'll be broke down either way.
Yeah.
Either way.
Well, I was going to ask this question.
Whatever.
So he's in jail, and maybe he humming a few tunes.
You don't start.
If he hummed that or whatever, and he gets it on paper, and he's making music, does that go on his books?
No, somebody has to put that out there and make it, produce it, put music with it. It's like it would be if you in the studio. It's work. It's called work.
Mm-hmm.
Who getting ready to do that?
Well, maybe he'll get on his phone call that he gets once a day and start singing.
You know what? Let's talk about that fool that came up in the court this week wanting to play his music.
Oh, I know.
Have you lost your damn mind? This is a federal courtroom.
Oh my God.
See, ghetto.
That's what I'm saying. Where did that come from?
Ghetto ratchet. Like they said, why in God's name did you put that on the witness stand? And obviously you didn't know he was going to say what he said.
Don't they supposed to ask some questions before they get up there?
Oh, have mercy. Your Honor, can I play? You cannot.
Oh my God.
Back to you, Bob.
Oh my goodness. I just
wow. That's when I said, yeah, your case is done. You just messed yourself up by putting that buffoon up there on that witness stand.
That was.
And I played. And if you played the music, what the hell was R. Kelly gonna do with it?
Thank you.
Tell you the lies he told everybody else? Because if you ain't a superstar by now, you just like everybody else. You was on a dream when you met her.
Right. And all of them. Them girls, I mean, I'm sorry to say, they weren't talented.
Yeah, it's probably only one out the group that
It's
probably did this
Aaliyah,
thing.
but the two one of
Yeah, Azrael and Jocelyn.
yeah, I was like,
The last two Mohicans. And
yeah.
Azrael, she was so crunked up on that Gayle King interview.
Oh, I
I
know.
was stunned that she turned at the end. I really was.
Yeah.
Really
But I
was.
think he was there. Well, didn't he say he was there or something when they were something was going on when they were doing the interview, wasn't it?
What you mean?
Somebody in the background looking at
Oh,
him.
that was him coughing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Letting them know he was listening.
Mm.
Well, you know he was listening because he went with you.
Right.
Where else would he be?
See, they had too many free times to just choke the crap out of him.
Well, you gotta want to choke that crap out of him first. You know?
Yeah.
When you could just leave, you had a whole life ahead of you as a young person. You wasted years with somebody that you were sharing with sexually with other persons. We don't even say a woman, persons. You willingly shared them with other persons, played house with him, playing dirty, nasty sex game. That's really all this was a dirty sex game.
Yeah.
And what did you get from out of it? A couple of boobs and a couple of outfits and a little spending change. To me, that's nothing.
But see that he got them at that time where they're like fanatics.
But they were kids. See, that's the
yeah.
point. That's the thing people don't understand. They were young people. 18, 19, you still a child, mind child, 17, it's all the same. You're still young. You ain't been nowhere. You ain't done nothing. You haven't seen anything. So you expecting a 17-year-old to act like a full-fledged adult. There's no way you can expect that because most of us weren't acting as adults at 17. Come on now.
Right. You're right. I'm sorry. He's just totally.
That's why he liked them. That's why he liked them. Easy to manipulate. And of course, some were older, easy to manipulate as well. But as I tell you,
that lady. What was that?
That happens every day. So everybody acting like they so stunned. They grown, they knew better. They knew better. Like I tell them, which is it? Because one minute you're talking bad about the young people when they were children, they were hussies, they was this, they were fast, as old people say fast. Then you blame the grown women. So which is it? Because you blame it both. But men been doing this for years and they still do this. Right. Manipulate. They just don't have the name R. Kelly. But they lie, manipulate, cheat, ask the girl, woman, would you like to bring in this or can I bring in another partner? I know a chick named Lulu and she pretty and you like her and I like sex with two women. Come on. I like it. They can lay it on thick.
Yeah.
Always about what you like. Well, maybe I don't like that.
Well, then they get chained in a room for a couple more days.
Maybe I don't like that. If I tell you no, I'm with that, why are you still talking about it? And that's what they do. They keep talking about it. It's gonna make you sign the deal to sleep with a woman. And then here come Pookie, Bubba, all these little extra nephews. Why? Because that's another thing. Let's go there. How you started out a heterosexual as a young man and Robert Kelly then crawled up between your legs. When you seen him drop to his knees, it should have been a fight on.
Thank you.
Because even if you drop to your knees, you still ain't between my legs yet. Come on.
And the 17-year-old boy.
What you do? Hey, what I said in my last video about that, it should have been some smoke in the city. It should have been some smoke in the city. Robert's supposed to got beat down.
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't whoop him. You to know I was in the room.
I do have one question. What do you think Mr. Big is feeling about this?
Mr. He probably thinking, Robert, you done, Robert. Oh, Lord.
Well, he already had his stint in jail. He probably say, "Oh, you can." It's okay.
He probably thinking, "I can't help you, bro."
Yeah.
You signed the deal on this one. Yes, you did.
Yes, who wants to be around him?
Yeah.
They don't even want to be associated with
somebody else. Only people that want to be around Robert Kelly, somebody else sick like him.
Yeah, those fans.
What I find interesting is that people are still rallying for him, and they are just putting on the back burner all these nasty things that have been repeated
Mm-hmm.
about him and his demeanor, his attitude towards people in general. He's nasty. He puts on a front like he's friendly, charismatic. The charismatic is to get you behind closed doors to do all that dirty stuff. Ain't nobody stupid. He knows when to turn it on like any sociopath. In order for me to get what I want, I got to come out and act like I'm halfway decent. But then once I turn that doorknob, it's on and popping.
Right.
I'm barking like a dog. I'm doing all kind of crazy stuff. You know, Robert ain't even with the swinging from the chandelier. He on a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, you get with him, it's up. Get your iPad.
Yeah. You might as well forget it.
That's why I know, like you said, he ain't that illiterate.
Mm-mm.
Hell, you know about filming with an iPad. Come on now.
That's what I said. And it's like you said, but you always say in the beginning, make sure you listen to it all.
Yeah.
And
because the truth is at the beginning. The truth is always at the beginning. It's just a matter of what you're willing to decipher from everything that you're hearing. Are you willing to listen or you not willing to listen? Right. And see, a lot of people have decided not to listen, but the signs have always been there about him. And naturally, people have said, oh, we knew this. We heard these things. We heard these rumors. Well, those are the same things they said about Weinstein. Weinstein was a running joke in Hollywood. Everybody had heard the nasty rumors about how he liked to come on to women and flirt with them and do all this old crazy type stuff. But as they say, what can you do about it? You can't do nothing about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You either dealt with him or you didn't. But I think he was the type that he would make or break you.
Yeah.
You didn't get what he wanted, he badmouthed you.
Mm-hmm.
But that was showing enough a nasty pig. Because I'm telling you, that one of them women testified, and when I read that testimony from that courtroom, they said you could hear a pin drop in that courtroom when that woman got up there and testified about how bad he smelled and how small it was and how it looked like a gal down there.
A what?
A gal.
What?
That's why he always liked performing oral sex. Because he didn't have nothing to work with. That was said about him. He always wanted to initiate oral sex to perform on a woman. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
I know. And then, but you know, I think he's gonna get some years for this one.
Do you really? This one guy said today, he believed about 15 years. 10
yeah. Just enough to get him, because it doesn't matter if they give him 2, if they give him 15, because he's still got those other charges. So
that's why he's doomed.
Yep.
You get 10 here, 15 there. It's a wrap at 54.
Yep.
You know, you're not 22 top mouth facing 10, 15.
And he ain't Bill Cosby.
Stop it. Yes, May says functionally illiterate. He know more than you want people to think he know.
Yep.
No, Kim, we're not talking about Robert being small. We're talking about Weinstein. What was said about him in court.
And he wasn't even in prison 2 months, and he looking like he need to be in a nursing home. Well, Weinstein.
Well, the thing is, you go down quick.
Yep.
You're not getting, that adrenaline ain't pumping when you was out there in the streets trying to seduce folks and lure folks and coerce folks. You downtrodden once you behind bars. Ain't nothing going on back there.
Right.
Don't nobody care nothing about you. You just a number.
Yep.
A big fat number at that. But that was a big old man.
I was like, oh.
So I said it did not shock me none when she went in the courtroom and testified that he looked like a woman downtown. Shut your mouth. Because you know it wasn't nothing but fat down there.
Yeah, that's big. He
wasn't nothing but a big, look, he wasn't nothing but a big fat girl. Shut your mouth, Queen. And I can tell you, ain't no way he's been slobbering and huffing on top of me.
I just can't. I can't.
Well, look at his wife. That should tell you something right there.
Yeah.
That sounds mean, but there's no way in the world you could tell me she was ever turned on by him before she even knew what was in his britches.
Right.
Why in the world would you want that?
She wanted the money.
Yeah, but guess what? After what that girl said about him in that courtroom,
I know.
how bad he smelled.
Oh,
Come on now.
see, that's one thing they R.
Come
Kelly
on now.
share is the smelly part.
Yeah, you look like a woman and you stink. Okay, I'm good. Shut your mouth. So you was sitting here, got this big old thing trying to wrestle on top of you, looking like a woman downtown, and it smelled too.
I can't.
Can't nobody. I'm telling you, they said he hung his head in that courtroom when she started discussing how he looked downtown.
Yes. What else can anybody say about
nothing? You can't say nothing. Because that's humiliating for people to know that you ain't got nothing down there and you stink too.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, they said Robert Kelly. They say he Ting Ting smell.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I've said. That's what they have in common. They both stink.
And Robert Kelly probably stunk because all the stuff he had going on inside of his bloodstreams.
Yeah.
And then who's to say he was a regular bather? You just assuming because somebody famous, they jumping in hot water with soap. Don't get it twisted now.
Yeah,
how many famous people been coming out talking about they don't brush their teeth and don't bathe?
Yeah, they just
all of them. Jessica Simpson don't like to brush her teeth.
How do you come out and tell people that?
I thought, wait a minute, this the girl that like to make pocketbooks and shoes. Damn, come on, baby.
That's why. That's why. What I was saying earlier, you'd be surprised what their norm is, what other people's norm. You look at them and be like, "What?"
Yeah.
You know, I see if it was back in Depression days where you couldn't bathe, but so much because you couldn't afford the soap or whatever.
Yeah.
This ain't that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but see, you know, there's probably lots of people like that.
Oh yeah,
they are well dressed. They look nice. They're in the store spending all this money on designer handbags, shoes, clothes, accessories, and they stink. They don't take baths. They got horrible body odor. There's lots of people like that. All up in the window with the good Michael Kors handbag and they look good shoes, walking around with they good Gucci this, Gucci that, and smell like a damn billy goat. All that money you spend it on the designer clothes and handbags and jewelry, it's funky.
Yeah.
You know, folks right now walk right out the door, ain't brushed their teeth, ain't bathed, as old folks say, ain't took a whole bath, going out in the street, putting your good new clothes on, with the price tags on them.
Yeah.
Oh, mercy. Sad.
It is. And for people, like I said, people to fall for it. My thing is these actresses and stuff. Oh, okay, you come out now. How come you didn't come out 2 and 3 years ago? Why didn't you come out the day after this happened?
Well, you know, in the industry, it's going to be totally different than coming out as a regular person because, see, he can blackball you, and I think that's when he realized they weren't interested. He would just go spread their name around. You got to remember, him and his brother were powerhouses out there.
That's true.
He owned a production company, him and his brother. So he produced most of the movies that you've watched. So he can say yes or no.
That's true. But
so he had pull. He had major pull. Major pull.
I tell you, whew. That's all I say.
They say many years ago, Brad Pitt put him in his place about one of them gals, can't remember her name. And I said, well, it didn't work because he still kept doing it.
Yeah. I heard he stink too.
Well, that's what somebody in the chat saying. Said.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Robin Givens dated him. Shut up. You didn't know that?
No, but
I heard that. I heard at an interview about a year or so ago. It was a year or two ago. She was talking, and I said, "What?" Because you know how they start bringing up their past songs and stuff. And Mike Tyson, I believe, had came by, and Brad Pitt was there. I said, "Shut your mouth." Ooh, why y'all telling all that juice? Look, many moons later.
She's a little different anyway.
Which one?
Robin Givens.
Robin. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lord. Look, the things we learn about these stores.
Yep.
Very interesting.
Yeah, but it always come back to the same thing.
Mhm.
Sex.
Sex. What?
I'm saying as far as
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow.
yeah,
I
yeah, that's what I was
couldn't
saying.
think of
Yeah.
her name at the time. I knew it was one of them blonde head gals.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I knew it was one of them blonde head gals.
Ugh, ugh, ugh. Well, what you call? Oh, no, I'm not gonna bring that up. Never mind.
What is it about?
What's the man? The music mongrel. The man that's over everybody. Um, he was over Whitney.
Oh yeah, they was about Clive Davis.
Yeah, I heard he has some issues. I mean, he don't have the issues, but the other people have the issues about being famous under him.
Okay. What do you mean?
And, huh?
Like what?
Like, I think was it P Diddy? Some of them, they said if the maids could talk in a hotel. That's what I heard.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Like we're saying, the power behind sex.
Mm-hmm. So you saying Clive made unwanted advances toward women?
No, no, I'm not saying he would made any unwanted anything, but from what I read, I have to go back and find it, and then I'll put it on your community page. That I think they said P Diddy was somewhere in one of his hotel suites or whatever, and what the maid had to clean up, she thought she was going to faint. I'll just put that
up. You mean hygienic? Something he did hygienic wise?
Well, no, it's him and P Diddy. They said that he like messed,
Just say gay girl.
Well, I didn't.
Honey, we grown, baby.
Yeah, that's true.
But I was wondering where you was going because I was getting ready to say what they said. P Diddy like men. That's wondering where you was going.
Yeah, but they said that he had to sleep. That Clyde Davis got him.
Okay, maybe they're saying something about he finally admitted to being gay. Rumors for years. I didn't know. I never heard he was gay. Yeah. I didn't really keep up with a lot of stuff back in those days of who was doing what. I'm just not really learning a lot of stuff.
Yeah, see, and me too, because I wasn't interested. I mean, I didn't have time to be reading all that.
Well, I always wonder why people have been saying that the past few years about Puff Daddy being gay. I was, they say he like hugging on men and this and that, and I don't know. But that one picture of him and that gay man that made the little that did the movie about Precious and had the Fox TV show.
Oh yeah,
Empire and all that. I always wondered that one picture I saw them in. They did look kind of cozy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, she said he made it in this book. Well,
okay.
I guess you almost dead. I guess you feel like ain't no need to try to hide it. It was gonna come out when you die anyway. So you said I was gone, and while I got 1 foot in, I go and let some of the tea out. Wow.
Yep.
Well, I'm sure there are a lot of famous people that are famous men that are gay or bisexual.
Right.
Ooh, I ain't never heard that before. I guess I ain't never found out. Yeah, Lee Daniels.
Yeah. Yep.
And Puff Daddy. I can't even think back. When I think back to the good old days of Biggie Smalls and Total, that just, I don't know. That's the point, is you don't know people. So
yeah, but it's funny because when you think about those days, you think about them just shooting each other up, beating each other up, going busting each other's studios, and you never thought of them the way some of the stuff is coming.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Since the beginning of time, it was always women and women. What we always saw portrayed as a subversive sexual act. Never men and men.
Right.
Which some people say, oh, that's a double standard. Well, no, that's how it started.
Yeah.
Women and men. That's what was always portrayed. Women and women, women and women. So the act itself of men and men, because it was not ever, considered the same.
Right.
So of course it's the same, but not the same. It's hard to fathom two men together.
Yep.
If you see two men kissing, you ain't even got to see them doing the other.
I know.
It kind of takes you aback. If
Mhm.
you see two men hugging, two men kissing, it's like, what the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not used to seeing that.
yeah.
Even now, you can see gay men walking around, but you rarely see two gay men locked arm in arm and in mouth to mouth resuscitation. You just rarely see that.
Right.
Now, maybe some places they do it openly a lot. I don't know. I have not seen it. So
Yeah, me neither.
I have not seen just men hugging and kissing, walking down the street and going in the mall, locking tongues together. I just haven't. And I don't think I would want to see it.
No. I tell you, this world is just.
And it's hard It's hard to
Yeah.
visualize two men having sexual relations.
Yeah.
Only a gay man can visualize it because he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
But regular people who are not accustomed to seeing that, it'll take you aback. Because I've seen videos people posted, through like Facebook and stuff years ago, and I saw something so grimy, and it was all over social media. It probably was on YouTube too. About 2 or 3 years ago, that black boy that was performing oral sex on that man in his daddy church.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see that, girl. Somebody sent me that video, and I said, "You can't tell me Satan ain't real." That was, and there are no words.
Yeah.
And then the guy who's getting it from the dude, he's like, "What would your daddy think or say or something?" I was just, I know I'm not looking at this. It was, I was stunned.
See,
that dude would be so disrespectful to do it in your daddy church. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Wow. I was like, dang. And then somebody aired their photos after they released the video.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that boy did it himself to spite his daddy or what, but the video got leaked of what they both looked like. Because the dude who was the doer, he was a heavy set dude. And then the other dude, he was a light-skinned dude. I mean, he was nice looking. And I was like, damn, really? Had long hair, had braids. I was just like, wow. How you gonna live now with your face out here and everybody know you didn't let that man suck your private parts in the Lord's house? Him sucking your private parts is one thing, but then you're doing it in the church.
Yeah, that's that.
Yeah, you need your ass beat.
Yeah.
You need your ass beat. You need your ass beat. It's still hard to even believe that R. Kelly like men sex with a man.
I know.
It's just hard to believe it. Because you've heard all these stories of these young girls, women, young girls. But then when that story came out, when Jerronda Pace first gave that testimony and surviving R. Kelly, when that girl got to talking about Bubba and all that, I was dead. I was dead, man. I said, I'm done.
Oh, he's all over the place, ain't he?
Damn. He made her sit in the room. See, he was grooming her then.
Yeah.
Here, go sit down.
Yep.
And then Bubba walked in and handled his business on him, and he wanted to get a reaction out of her. And the fact she didn't run out, that's what he wanted.
Yeah.
He hoped she didn't. So this is what I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
As we now know he liked men, boys. Everybody's screaming about herpes. Y'all might want to be screaming about AIDS.
Yeah.
You dwelling on that herpes, you might need to put her over in the corner. Because he don't like using no condoms. Well, how many times you think he done had sex without a condom? Never went got a physical, checkup, medicine, nothing. Herpes leads to other things besides herpes. You got chlamydia, you got gonorrhea, you got syphilis, you got trichomonas, you got all these other things. And everybody crying about just the herpes. Okay, so now after I just mentioned all them other diseases and the HPV and this and that, how about teen? Oh, let's not leave out hepatitis. There's hepatitis C, hepatitis B. Okay, teen HIV. You ante up your chances of getting HIV by having unprotected sex. Everybody knows that.
Right. And your system is already compromised.
Right. And then you having more venereal diseases. You know damn well he's had more than just herpes. He's had way more than just that.
Yeah, he probably. And if he had that bootleg doctor,
I will not doubt that he's probably HIV positive.
he may be. All of a sudden, when he get to the in the jail, then he start looking like he done somebody done.
Yeah, even though he's put on a lot of weight, but that doesn't mean anything.
That's what to say. Don't.
But it would not surprise me if he's HIV positive. And so then you have to think, if he is, what about all the women he has slept with?
Mm-hmm. And who
They are HIV positive.
Yeah.
Whoever they done slept with, they are HIV positive. See, it's a dirty game.
Well, they'll find out soon.
I know they will. And that's what I'm waiting on, not to be facetious, but I told myself that's next.
Yeah.
That's the next version to jump off with R. Kelly. Somebody gonna come forward and say they're HIV positive. You watch what I tell you.
Might just be his
Oh, Kim, yeah. I'm sure he's been tested for lots of things. You see, he got eyeglasses, so they realized his ass was going blind up in there. They went and got him some damn glasses. Yeah, they're gonna test you. They done ran his blood test.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, they can't release that. That's private. But I wouldn't doubt it because he don't like using condoms, and that was said during the trial.
Can you imagine being his jailmate?
What you mean?
Well, number one, stinking. Then you have to worry about him attacking you. Then he'll probably will attack you. Then you'll have to kill him.
Well, I don't see R. Kelly being risky enough to come on to the jail. I think somebody will probably put a bug in his ear to let him know they're interested, and then it'll go like that.
Mm.
But I don't see him just walking up on some dude because he don't know what he's about, if he's like that or not. But then I don't know. I'm not in there, so I can't really say. But that's another thing I asked the chat a while back. Do you think he's having sexual relations in the jail? Ooh, that's nasty, ain't it? But he likes men, so that's why I asked the question. I mean, he's a human being.
Well, they make you take a shower, so
you don't stop having desires because you're locked up.
That's true.
Are you going to answer, or you don't know what to say?
I sat here and all this stuff was going through my head. I'm like,
whose is this?
He might be.
That was his famous line back in the day. Whose is this? Whose is this?
Oh,
shut up! Wow. That's cool. And that'll be the next gossip too. That's gonna be the next gossip. Who has had sexual relations with Robert Kelly inside a prison jail? Somebody gonna tell it. Somebody gonna tell it because he likes sex. He's a sex addict, so he can't go without sex. And now that we know that he does like men, there's no way I'm gonna sit here and think he has not had relations with a man in that jail,
right?
In Chicago or New York, because he likes sex.
Mm-hmm.
He may be isolated, but that's not gonna stop him from getting sex. Who's to say a guard isn't bisexual? They showed a picture of a guard kissing one of the inmates outside a door on Rikers Island a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody caught the picture, took the picture.
You can't do nothing get away with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the thing is, they hold secrets.
Yeah.
In a prison, because they do all type of felonious acts in prison and jail. And we know that this man likes men. He's attracted to his own sex. So there's no way I'm gonna sit here and believe being locked up 2.5 years or so, almost 2.5 years, he's not having relations with somebody. Mm-hmm. At some point, he gonna get something. I can't even imagine. That's just something I never could visualize when I first heard her talk about that. Geronda Pace, I was like, man, please, if she making this up. But then Azriel and that girl, when they got into it at that hotel.
Oh, I know, yeah.
That's what came out in the conversation. And that's not something you just gonna say about no man. And make it up.
Maybe that's why she's turned on him.
Who?
Was it Azriel?
Yeah, but they been knew he liked men. Come on.
No, I'm talking about that. Well, did they not? I mean, maybe they found out that he had herpes.
Yeah, but I'm saying Everything they did with R. Kelly, they still stayed.
I know. I can't. I just
All the men, the diseases, they was there. That one as well, they've just been there for years. She's been there
yeah.
for years.
And then the other girl, the girl that cut her hair,
Dominique.
and then come back.
Dominique. Yeah, Dominique.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And she had a baby.
Yeah. Yep.
She met somebody and had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Issa. I was asking about that. They're saying that the defense is wrapping up, so I don't know if she's going to testify. I thought she was going to testify, so I'm not sure.
She gonna tear him up if she does. He will get there.
Well, no, she's going to be testifying on behalf of Robert Kelly.
Oh no, she ain't gonna show up.
Well, she was in court a week or so ago. But they got pictures of her.
She didn't say.
Our family was already there in New York watching the trial.
They funny too. Okay, I don't even know why I watched that R. Kelly thing. Her family's these parents throwing rocks up there.
What about her parents?
Throwing rocks up at the window. I know she's in there.
You know what, girl? I can't.
How do you do that? I seen her come to the window.
Stop. I can't.
I don't know.
Well, what I want to know is, does he have any remorse now? After all that has been said. And
he'll say he ain't did nothing wrong.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, I thought he said he ain't did nothing wrong.
Okay, but he know he's done something wrong.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Does he have remorse?
Well, he won't go get up there and say anything. Maybe at sentencing he'll get up and say that he's sorry. I'm sorry for.
He's not gonna say that because he's got to go to trial 2 other places.
Oh yeah, that's true. He can't admit nothing.
Yeah, he can't admit nothing.
Well, he'll just have another outbreak in court like he did with.
Yes, bisexual. Yes, he is. Damn. You know, I also wondered about his kids too.
Well, you know, did you?
Because I always wondered if he ever did anything with his children. I didn't want to think about that, but he is a victim of sexual abuse, and he does like sex with the same sex. So you have to think there's a possibility, because in the end, he did become a product of what was done to him.
Right. That's another story in itself.
What do you mean?
The wife. It's like you was with it. I mean, did he act different with you? I mean, there are some weird people that act a little different to one, but you were married to him.
No, he treated her the same way.
So,
you know, not coming in the room, knocking before entering the room. She said that anyway out of her own mouth.
And she had kids. Well, I guess she had
about killing herself because he treated her so bad, beating her up. He had tied her up or something, or did something to her.
Yeah.
No, he's just mean. He's just a mean MF.
Yeah, and that's the thing, the mean part about it. You know, what was the guy? What's the guy in New Jack City?
Oh, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, whatever his name was. I guess he thought he was him.
Oh,
see what happened at the end.
There you, my brother's keeper. Oh, I'm dead. I'm so dead. Lord of mercy. I'm just 1 hour in.
All right.
Minutes. It's so early. You might as well, ain't nobody else jumping up here. He mad he got caught. Well, he don't think he's caught, baby. So you know how that go. Yeah. 2 children that I know of, Kim. Oh, she said 3. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 3 kids he has.
Well, I think that daughter has spoke out recently.
On his behalf?
I haven't looked up any commentary about that.
I wouldn't have said nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have nothing to say.
Yeah, well, I think she might have been trying to, I don't know,
get a couple dollars on the sentence.
Well, maybe support them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Because you figure they've been living off of his income too. Now
Trish, what are you saying? Spray neck, stomach, and arms. What are you talking about? Oh Lord. Yeah. I don't even know what that mean. What it's supposed to mean, Lord.
I don't either, but it's funny. Oh, this world.
That's the case. If you worried about catching something, you just need to dip your whole body in lye. You just don't lay down in it. Come on now. Wow. Where's the sister at? I'd like to know why she never says anything.
Oh no, she ain't. The sister, his sister.
The big sister. Yeah.
Oh no, she ain't coming out nowhere. Somebody be looking for her and be waiting for her.
Mm.
By the time she finishes her first sentence, she'll be ching ching.
But one thing about it, he doesn't talk about her.
No. No.
Oh, he has a transgender child. What you mean? Oh, Lord.
See, you know.
Well, that's to be expected.
All kinds of messed up.
Because generational curse.
Yeah.
Nobody touched him. He ended up liking men. Boys.
Never thought about that. But
Now he's got a child that's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Lord, mercy, I'm dead. I don't know. I never heard that. I don't know anything about
it. It was one. I remember seeing his wife and the kids. But, you know, they're older. So they were sitting around talking. But I knew one, the girl had the baseball hat on. But I just thought maybe she just wore them. But now.
So what are you saying? It's the girl that's acting like a boy or boy acting like a girl?
Acting like a boy.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Oh, one daughter is now a boy.
Yeah.
It's not the older daughter, is it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Wow. So then there's Carrie, the brother, who was talking outside the courtroom when them folks was out there fussing and fighting. Basically saying he was supporting his brother. And I thought, well, hell, you was the one telling his business that he made it past his Jew years back.
See?
Gee, I don't understand none of that. I think they all messed up in the head.
Yeah, they probably are. Can you imagine you locked up in a house because your mom's scared for you to go out there and out in the public, or you might hang around the wrong person. So
yeah, but look what happened to him.
That's exactly.
He became a predator.
Yep.
Because I was wondering what was the deal with him. The brother Kerry was one telling the story that he always stayed inside, but I didn't remember him saying why he stayed inside. So if indeed it was his mother worried about him being influenced by the street, look what he became.
I know, the worst thing ever.
Yeah, a menace is a menace. No matter what kind of menace it is, a menace is a menace. Lord have mercy. I still can't get over this comment. Spray neck, stomach, and arms. I'm trying to figure out what that's supposed to mean. Michelle, what is that supposed to mean? My neck, my back. Get Kaya. Oh, Lord. His oldest daughter, Joanne, named after his mama. Oh, the oldest daughter, she's a boy. I have to look that up. Okay, so how about this? What's the verdict going to be?
I think you're going to be guilty.
Okay. You think them 12 members gone? But all it takes is one to hang it up.
Yeah, one of his fans. They just didn't.
Oh, that would be it. They'll kill each other in that room. You thought them folks were fighting in that overflow room. They'll tear that damn court. They'll tear that damn room down. That room will be on fire. Oh, and let me tell you that. The Superdome caught on fire down in New Orleans.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, I saw that before I came live. Yeah.
Wow.
They said they were vigorously trying to put that fire out. Didn't say what the cause was.
Wow.
Football season and the damn dome catching on fire.
I know. Ain't that crazy?
You can't make this stuff up.
Wow.
Oh, Lordy. I'm trying to make sure I touched on every subject pertaining to this case. I guess I have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. If they decide to let the jury have it. But you know what'll be something? They let him go. Man.
Oh, no.
I will be utterly stunned. I ain't lying.
That little girl's father will be just like, I'm telling you, go back to New Jack City. He'll be the man on the steps. He'll be,
oh yeah.
He turned around.
Oh, that was something. He shot him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Forgot all about that.
I just, ugh. But then, you can't even get the
Money,
guy.
money, money, money. Some people got to have it. Yes, and I love that song. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Some people, Lord have mercy. That's the truth. Some people gotta have it. Mean
At
green
any cost.
at any cost. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Yep.
the truth. Okay, she said youngest daughter. Okay.
Oh, the youngest one turned
Yeah, 'cause
20?
I thought the oldest one was more feminine with the long hair and stuff.
Yeah. I knew it was one of the girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
What in the world? What in the world is Drea? I haven't heard anything from her in a while.
Mm-hmm.
The mother of the children.
She
Wonder
probably don't want,
what she
I
has to
mean,
say about all this extra stuff. Because guess what? She done laid down and had sex with him and made 3 children.
right now. That's
I
what
never
I'm
knew he
saying.
was married. When they said when I didn't know he ever married anybody until
That
he
thing
was in
that,
that private R. Kelly. So
yeah, that's
R.
what.
Kelly is what put me up on everything that I did not know about Robert.
Can you imagine?
Man, Robert, you just it ain't no words for the stuff that they were repeating, man. Just no words.
When you say, "Oh, it's okay," I'm just. Well, if he was the kind of person he was, he couldn't help but get pregnant.
Right, because he didn't like condoms.
Right.
But if that's my husband, I ain't expected to wear a condom with my husband.
Right.
Lord have mercy. What in the world? I just don't know what to say.
I don't either. Right now, I think I'm gonna get off right now because I just feel queasy in my stomach.
Really?
He's just so disgusting to me.
Okay.
the mere thought of, I mean, even I get that picture of him when he was talking to Gail.
Yeah. Jumping up and down.
Yeah, and he just sitting there like somebody hurting him.
Y'all killing me.
Yeah.
No, you killed yourself, bro.
Thank you.
Past tense. You did this.
Because if nobody kill you, the herpes gonna kill you after so many years. You probably got syphilis too, making you blind in your eyes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Can't get rid of that.
Itself, but it did this to itself.
Yeah.
It did this to itself.
Yep. He's a monster. He's a monster.
He just did this to himself. The sexual appetite just got out of control.
Yep.
It's one thing to like sex, but you doing other stuff along with the sex that was,
Yeah, that other
meaning
stuff.
To the spirit.
Yeah.
The people matter. Okay, really?
No, let me tell. See, and then they did it.
That's what I said. Like, see, I already said that. Yeah, I won't be surprised that he already has HIV.
Yeah.
You have to be it'd be a blessing from God that you are not HIV positive.
Right.
Considering how many women you've had sex with and men, and he's up the ante when he was having sex with men. So, there's a great possibility that he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It just hasn't been revealed.
That's true.
Mercy.
That'll be news.
I was stunned when they said that in that court a couple weeks ago. He crawled between that boy's legs. First, I was trying to understand, was he trying to say he attempted to, or he did?
You sat there and let him.
That's where I had the problem. If you let him, he didn't just fall in your lap and your pants come down and your underwear come down. That's a process. Unless you were raped. And it's still rape, even though he's a child.
Yeah.
It's rape anyway.
Right.
But I just
he would have came out
like a 17-year-old boy, and I know I like girls, and a dude dropped to his knees. Like I said, it's about to be some smoke in the city.
Yeah, he would have came out.
Look, as we said, we get ready to fight tonight. Look. She got disconnected. Whew. It's very, I don't know. There's no words. No words for Robert's behavior. I don't know. He's very sick. And the sad thing is, no matter what the verdict is going to be, he's probably never going to change his ways. He'd have to have a prayer meeting with God and say, hey, I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of this, the randomness of the women, these deviant sexual acts involving other people in the sexual acts. He'd have to come to terms with himself that he wants to stop doing that. I mean, you're entitled to do what you want behind closed doors, but when you start demeaning people and like trying to force them to do something, that's a whole different ballgame. Lord have mercy. Oh, that's okay, Denise. Thank you. Thank you for your time. You kept me company since nobody else want to hit the link. That's okay. I'm cool. But thank you for your time, Miss Broma. But yeah, this it's very baffling, the situation with Robert Kelly, how he came to be this monster, because indeed that's what he is. He's a monster. He has this great sexual appetite for children and adults and deviant sexual acts. There's just no explanation for why he does this. I mean, it's sad. Well, that's up to them to decide to bring charges against the other people, because a lot of them are complicit. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. If anybody else want to hit the link, give their opinion, you are welcome. If not, I'll probably check out of here. But that's the set information. I played audio pertaining to the information relayed in court the past 2 days, and possibly today, which is now Thursday. We will see what happens with this U.S. I keep want to say state, what the U.S. has if they decide, 12 members rather, convene and make a decision. And that's another thing. How long will it take for them to convene? I wonder how long they're going to deliberate, and what are they going to be discussing in that said room? Who's going to get flippant, vile, or act out? Because he's already had people act this way at the courthouse in the overflow room, showing out, arguing and fussing and cussing out people. Very disrespectful. But that shows you they don't care about themselves, because that is no way to act, period, no matter where you are. And you're in a court of law, you got to have respect for yourself. So I don't know what's going to happen with R. Kelly. I don't know what the 12 members will say to one another. And as I just told Ms. Broomer, all it takes is one to hang the jury, and it'd be a mistrial. Lord have mercy. Imagine that. But either way, if he's innocent, found innocent or guilty, he still has 2 other trials to go to in 2 other jurisdictions, and that's Chicago and I believe it's Minnesota. Yes, Minnesota. I don't know what city, if it's Minneapolis or not, but either way, he's done. He's cooked. He's a cooked bird, because he's 54 years old. You talking about facing maybe 15 years or more, depending on how the judge wants to run the charges. Because like they said, the other charges are separate counts. All those charges he have, they're all different, and they all carry a different amount of time. So he's done. Either way, he's done. And then he has to also, if indeed he's found guilty here in Brooklyn, he has to then go stand trial in Chicago. In Chicago, let it be known, they will hold court until he comes up out this situation here. He will go to court in Chicago, no matter what the verdict is in New York. So, Robert, you just done, bro. But you did this to yourself, because you didn't get yourself any help. And you continuously kept bedding these women and men and children, and you didn't give a damn. And even now, you're still saying, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. But I know you did something, because you got offended when Faith testified. And that says a lot about you, your demeanor. I don't think you thought she would tell the things about you personally, the things that have made you this monster in the first place, which is your private parts. You didn't ever think that'd be said about you in court. You couldn't get it to perform because she turned you down. And who turns down R. Kelly? Well, she did. And you didn't want that revealed in court. It took away your manhood. But you see, you took away your manhood on your own when you started having sexual relations with children. Too many women out here you can have sex with, besides ogling little girls, 13, 14, 15. You're out of pocket. You're out of line. And I think it's sad that people are still rallying for you, knowing that you have committed these crimes against said children and grown-ups. abuse these people behind closed doors, physically, mentally, verbally. Yet they act like you've done nothing. And the fact that you like men, how can you all dismiss that? That's really baffling. Besides the charges of messing with children, having sex, seeking out children, using people to bait children. He's a bisexual man. And you all act like that ain't nothing. Everybody's a whore or this or that. You talking bad about children. But you ain't got nothing to say about a grown man having sex with a boy or a man. Yeah, you need your head checked on that. That means you got some soul searching to do. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. When I have more information to bring you, I will. Tomorrow will possibly be the last day to bring you said commentary of whatever transpires in court. We will see what 12 members will decide on the fate of Robert Sylvester Kelly. As I stated in my earlier commentary, did the state put on a good case? Was the evidence believable? Were the witnesses believable? Is he innocent or guilty? What evidence made the case? Where were his witnesses? All these people rallying for Robert Kelly, where were they? Where was Jocelyn Savage? Is she still in his corner supporting him? Is she going to be the last to testify or a no-show, a no-go? They made commentary that their witnesses were hard to get to the court. I find that interesting. So you mean to tell me the defense did not pay for room and board and transportation for the witnesses to get there? Very interesting. What will 12 members say about the fate of Robert Kelly? If he's found guilty, how much time will he get? And if he's found innocent, he has 2 other jurisdictions holding court for him. That's Chicago and state of Minnesota. How does Robert feel now about everything that's been said about him? Every allegation, every commentary about him, his personal hygiene, the things he did to these ladies, men, children, women, girls, boys. And as I state, you only showed emotion when Faith testified. Why is that? Did she offend you? She insulted your manhood? You felt some type of way? Or is it perhaps she's the one you probably really liked and didn't expect her to turn on you and sue you for infecting her with the herpes virus? And why didn't you testify, Robert Kelly? Is it because you know you're guilty and you know you couldn't perform yourself, sit there properly and conduct yourself as a gentleman because you're not a gentleman? And you knew that you would fly off the handle like you did with that interview that you did with Gayle King. You don't have any self-control. That's obvious. And no way in hell you would have been able to control yourself when they came with the bang. All those allegations, the deviant sex acts, bodily fluids used, that was the cake right there. Because that tells you a lot of who you are. There's something seriously wrong with you. If you scratch all the sex you had, there is no way you can logically explain asking a woman or man, child, girl or boy, to put fecal matter on their face, in their mouth, urinate on another human being. There's no explanation for that. You are very ill, sick. You're very sick. And I think it's time for those who are following in behind you to realize there's something wrong with you. You are a deviant. You're a sociopath, and you are a narcissist. And you're a child predator, and you are an abuser. And you probably will never change. It was like I said, the only way I could see you changing is if you repent, ask God to forgive you, and ask the people who you harmed to forgive you and change your ways. But you've done this so long, I don't know if you could stop. I don't know if you could stop. Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Have a safe weekend. If I don't talk to any of you again, I will be bringing you more commentary pertaining to updates of stories I've covered. Miss Petito, when I get another set of information, I will bring you a commentary pertaining to that case. Prayers to her family, justice for her, justice they find Mr. Laundrie, because I do believe he is the culprit behind her death, her murder, rather. So I will bring you that said story when I get more information. You all be safe out there. Have a blessed day. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you.